And speaking of this subject, I would also like to add that elephants are not birds and can't be, and point out this amazing book, Elephants Are Not Birds, by the author known as Brave Books.
Yeah, I was wondering who wrote this. This was really good. I was thumbing through it the other day, but I couldn't
it was written by no
who
one.
the author. I think no one wrote it.
No one wrote it.
It's interesting.
For those that don't know and you're wondering what we're doing, this book was actually written by Ashley St. Clair, who announced today, in an effort to make amends, plus in the best interest of all parties, my name will be removed as author of Elephants Are Not Birds, effective immediately. Now, I got to be honest, the initial story, Elon Musk wanted to sue for sole custody of his child with Ashley St. Clair, we were not going to talk about because it's just like, so what? Now I think it's become, with this move now involving Brave Books, it's becoming more massively indicative of a cultural shift. Everybody on the right is fighting. The sides are changing again as predicted, and maybe it's intentional. The machine is trying to shuffle the box to prevent social decay or breakdown, and enemies become friends, friends become enemies, and books are written by no one.
I wonder if she's still getting paid for it.
Well, Brave Books issued a statement saying, over the last decade, we've witnessed a massive cultural shift. Basic foundational truths like biological sex have become controversial. In 2021, we partnered with Ashley St. Clair in a children's book titled Elephants Are Not Birds. The book communicates a clear truth that our biological sex is not chosen, but something we are given. It has become increasingly apparent that Ashley no longer aligns with the message of the book or with our mission. For that reason, we've reached a mutual agreement with Ashley that her name will be removed from Elephants Are Not Birds in future prints. Our position remains unchanged. Brave Books exists to tell stories that affirm timeless biblical truths and to partner with voices who share that conviction and desire to pass it on to the next generation with clarity and courage. That commitment requires discernment in both the stories we tell as well as the partners we choose. We will continue to act with conviction and tell stories that reflect the truths we believe are worth passing on. We're grateful to the families who have welcomed our stories into their homes and trusted us to play a small role in their children's lives. Trent, I volunteer as tribute. You can slap my name in that book right now and say it was written by me. Actually, I'm half kidding. What I want to say, truth be told, is I am disappointed in Brave Books and in Ashley St. Clair. We are not Netflix. We do not go in and edit the movie 4 years later because of some cultural issue. If I go back and look at a book that was written by some dude and then 20 years later became a Nazi, he still wrote the book, his name is still on it, that's life. Brave Books should not remove her name from the book that she wrote and collaborated with them on, and she should not have also agreed with them on the removal. I think it absolutely was a mutual decision. Of course, we saw the other day that Ashley St. Clair apologized for transphobia, and Brave Books did take the name off those that early in the day before the statement, I believe before the statement was published. I just think it's laughable, it's stupid, it's ludicrous. And I will say this, I still consider Ashley St. Clair to be a friend. She's always been very nice to me and very good to us. She's helped us out with a lot of things. And so people are critical of her, but this is how retarded everything has gotten. Guys, you can't take your name off a book.
Yeah.
Like, she wrote it. That's it. We're done. I will say this. I mean, my presumption here now with the move they made is actually she didn't write it. She endorsed it.
You don't think she wrote it?
Well, I mean, if Brave Books is going to take her name off of the book, my presumption is that Brave Books probably wrote the book and then said, you want to put your name on it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because otherwise, how could they take her name off it? It's like a matter of record.
Yeah.
She wrote it, right?
It's so sloppy when they do. It reminds me of like the NCAA when they like sanction a team and they vacate their championship win, and then you like look up at the
Everyone
Wikipedia article and
knows.
it's like, I guess no one won in 2009. It's like the same thing. It's like we all know what happened. We were all there. Like, we're not idiots. It's just sloppy and weird.
This is my problem with all of this historical retconning garbage. Like, Netflix goes in and edits movies after the fact, years later, or TV shows. So there's a pro skateboarder who I've called out before, but I'll avoid saying her name at this point. But this pro skateboarder decided that she was a he. Came out as trans and said, I'm a man. Got a double mastectomy and started taking her shirt off and skating around with no shirt on. Very still, obviously, a woman. But here's the thing. Despite publicly saying, I'm a man, she kept competing in the women's X Games. And I said, now hold on there a gosh darn minute. If you claim to be a man, you should stop competing against women, right? Nope. Because that's the way it works. If you're a female who claims you're a man, you compete against women. And if you're a man who claims you're a woman, you compete against women. None of it made sense. But what really irked me about it was that on Wikipedia, by changing all the pronouns to he, him, they were now asserting that this woman won the men's X Games. When they said, skater is a championship gold medalist at the X Games, he won this year, he won that year, he won this Olympic qualifier, and you're like, wow, he got the gold in the X Games. The presumption is a guy. And then you look up the X Games and this person's nowhere to be found because he did not. She did.
Mm-hmm. It's like on Wikipedia, it'll be like, oh, Caitlyn Jenner, a woman, had children with a woman. And it's like, if you're someone that has no idea what happened, you're reading that, it's going to confuse you very much. It's going to confuse children.
Look,
like, it's like, what are we doing?
The New York Times and the Washington Post are now off the trans train. Did you see this? The editorial board of the Washington Post came out right and said SCOTUS should say no men and women's sports.
It's not popular or cool anymore to believe that stuff. Like, it's really not. And that's how you know all of that was so performative, and for people to just jump on the train to agree with whatever they thought was cool. And so I hope that the pendulum is swinging now. I hope it doesn't swing back. But it probably will. I mean, we know everything kind of swings back and forth.
They just
I actually think it'd be hilarious if Brave put my name on this book.
Yeah, they should.
And then just like printed edition with me smiling, being like, I wrote this. It's mine.
Well, she did accuse Matt Walsh of plagiarism with his book that came out, Johnny the Walrus. So how could...
Lord.
I mean,
I
maybe
wrote
she
that.
did.
I wrote them both.
You wrote them both.
That's right.
So there is...
If we
there's
can
a
change history, I'm
scandal
getting on
going
board.
here.
Tim's a prolific ghostwriter.
Indeed. Yeah. I also was arrested and charged for being a vigilante in a subway in New York City. That was another really big story, a thing that I did.
Yeah.
You know, you guys remember that one?
Yeah, I was really
And
impressed.
I also starred in and hosted and wrote 30 Rock. That was me. Yeah. The whole time.
I think he drove a cab for a little while in New York City as well.
I did. It was a game show. Michael Malice was on it. That was me, actually.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago. Tim was like, I'm just going to Venezuela for tourism. That's all. You know, just to hang out, see what's going on.
You'll catch him fly fishing on Tuesdays usually.
Yeah.
Yep.
He does a lot of stuff.
Everything's mine. I did it all. I can just claim it. Because
Hey,
that's
I'm
where
feeling
we
for
are now.
Ash these days. Ashley, I don't know if you're listening, but I feel bad. I feel like I've been sad for you. I don't know. I haven't talked to her in like a year and a half. I mean, you mentioned she's a friend of mine. I feel like that to be, I guess she's to be alone with raising a kid. Like Elon hasn't been in the picture, so she's like a single mom, and that's stress. And then, but I don't know where her head's at because she was like,
Yeah,
I think I know.
I want to stress something. There are people that are mad at her because she wanted Elon to pay more money or whatever, but she said she wanted her kid to have a dad, and I think it's a mixed bag. I'm sure it's a little bit of both, right? She wanted more money. She wanted her son to have a father on his birth certificate and to have someone to look up to. There are a lot of conservatives that are ragging on her, and she did say that. And that's not a part of the equation as to why many of these conservatives don't like her anymore. So by all means, you can call her a gold digger or whatever, but you should include in the argument that she wanted her kid to have a dad.
you know, and she's told me one of the last times I saw her, I really want to have a second kid. And she did with Elon. So like, I'm happy for her, but Elon's the ethos of like more kids instead of like, I think a lot of how many kids are you parenting? Not about how many kids have you spermed out, but like how many kids are you parenting right now?
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Yeah.
And I think when I read this Ashley stuff, and like I don't spend a lot of time in drama and looking at it, I took it as from the perspective as I'm a mom. She is kind of left with no one. And so who is she going to ally with? The people who also are
Exactly.
known with Elon Musk and Elon Musk other baby mamas. That's her only ally right now. So if she's got to change her views or what she's got to do to have a relationship with the only people who really want to have a relationship with her, maybe that's where it is. And she's
I said this for years. If you do not give a person a path towards forgiveness, they will go the other direction.
Yep.
So for what reason is the right deciding to burn the bridge with with Ashley St. Clair? For whatever reason, she got 1 million followers. She wrote these books. She's been a huge personality, and they said she got into a fight with Elon Musk, so she's excised. Okay, well now you've just given the left an ally. She's going to be advocating for them, and people are saying, well, this proves she's a grifter. No, it proves human beings will not be left in a desert. If she can't go to any conservative event because she'll get attacked and criticized, ridiculed or insulted, she's going to go wherever she can. Every single human does it. That's it. The truth is, in this space, if you want to be successful, you're going to be you're either going to be a liar or you're going to be demure. You can be the podcast where you say, well, I really have nothing bad to say about that person because then they won't come on my show. Or you can be aggressive and say Elon should be there for his kids and not have 50 of them with no dad.
And that's something that conservatives generally think right off the bat. It's like
Elon's powerful. He's a powerful ally.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I firmly believe that kids need dads. They need a mother and a father, in my opinion.
I have another prediction too. I say this half jokingly. 7 months from now, we'll all be Democrats. Everyone in this room, even Kaitlin.
Absolutely not.
No, because the Democrats are going to have Stephen A. Smith, who said that Renee Good's shooting was justified and the trans thing is insane. Trump is going to be the guy who protected Epstein, and they're going to be on the Jew train, and they're going to be screaming about Israel. And Washington Post and CBS and the corporate press are already shifting because they're trying to attract moderates again. And the Libertarian Party has drifted left and right a little bit. I'm saying this half jokingly, but the way things are looking right now, there is this shift. This shift is happening. CBS, the Washington Post, the New York Times are now moving in the other direction. The trans thing has become weird, and Trump has become the Epstein pedo protector. He's right there along Hillary Clinton in the headline news right now for protecting Epstein clients. So the shift is happening. And I think the best example, again, is Stephen A. Smith has been floated as a potential front runner for Democrats. He came out right after that woman got shot, Renee Good, and said, from a legal standpoint, the shooting was justified. Okay, well, there you go. He's now aligned with the right, and moderates are going to be more attracted to that guy. But the funny thing is only because he doesn't have a record of protecting Epstein clients. You know what I mean? But I'm saying this somewhat as a joke. So I don't really believe it's going to happen so profoundly. But we're watching it.
Yeah, you're kind of describing the pendulum that you were talking about.
Exactly.
The natural frustration that people get with whoever's in charge due to whatever the media wants to propagate.
Well, it's not even that. It's how boring and sick of something do like the general public become, and like the media and everything like that. So they're on this anti-trans stuff, or they're just not really so gung-ho about supporting that. And so when that shifts, it's like, where does the right go? Is that what you're kind of saying? Is like, because they're shifting so much this way, like, where does the right go?
So the right is a coalition. The Republican Party has always been smaller than the Democratic Party, at least in our lifetimes. And Donald Trump formed a coalition with moderates. It was about 8 or 9 million Obama voters switched to vote for Trump. And it was very unexpected. Working class people said, I want Bernie. When they didn't get Bernie, they offered up Hillary. They said, nope, Trump it is. And so Trump was able to succeed in that regard. Trump has the disaffected liberal vote, largely. It's like 2-1. He's going to start losing it now because the right is being dominated by people who are screaming the Jews 24/7.
Okay, I see
and moderates don't care.
Yeah.
By all means, criticize Israel, it's a government, and AIPAC and these things. But then you get these shows that they're like the Zionists, which is the Jews, and normies are just like, huh? I don't care about it. The right is being split in the middle over the issue of Israel, and regular people largely don't care. In fact, the majority of Americans are pro-Israel. If you look at the polls, but it's because they're ignorant of the issue and don't care about it.
Yes.
They're like, I don't know, I saw in the news that it. However, young people are not. Young people are 50-50. It's splitting. So that's obviously why Israel wants to pay money to get it, to promote it. But I think regular people, for the most part, just don't care about that issue.
When I go out and talk to people every single week, the issue they bring up the least is the Israel stuff. Even on the left, they don't care about it. And it's shocking, which I could be in just like, the Florida area here. Maybe this isn't a saying of the whole country, but they don't bring it up as much as I see right-wing podcasters bring it up.
Yeah, Americans are kind of famous for our general ambivalence to like geopolitical affairs. Like, we're not keeping tabs on like the going-ons in the Middle East, let alone like what's happening in Europe. Like, we don't care.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.